What's going on, YouTube, fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. It's like 2 situations in one. A lot of information, so keep up with me. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Share the channel and content with your people. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. When we have kids, for some of us, it's an unexplainable joy. A feeling of pride, knowing you got to go make something shake and be at your full potential to make sure you can take care of them and be the best parent you can be. Those younger years are fun. Your child is excited about everything. A little trip to the dollar store with $5 will brighten their day. But as they start to get older, develop as a young man or woman, things change. You try to put yourself in their shoes and understand what's going on in their world. But as they become teenagers, they become more and more distant and feel like either us as parents don't understand or now they are old enough to make their own decisions. We try our best to hold on, but once they get to that rebellious stage, the more you try to step in, some teens push further and further away. You don't have to be a bad parent. You could give your kid the world, but in their mind, you are standing in the way of whatever life they think they want to live. Whether it's the streets as a young man or having a little boyfriend and being in puppy love as a young girl. No matter how hard you fight, after a certain age, unless you send your kids away or lock them in a house, they will find their way outside around others that might not have been raised like them. And at this point, you hope you have taught them enough to be on point and just pray they stay out of harm's way. But nowadays, in most cities, the teenagers are the ones with the guns and doing the hits, leaving all our youth at risk no matter how hard we try. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to Birmingham, Alabama to discuss what led to 2 teenage girls gone just days apart and 2 twin boys and their 15-year-old brother charged for the situations. Birmingham, Alabama, the Magic City. For y'all that's new to the channel and probably don't know, that's like my second home. Yes, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, but when I was young, a few of my family members went down south for a better life, including my father. I stayed back with my mother in Baltimore, but once Pops got situated, he came to get me to show me a better life. Just like any kid, at first I was heated and staying on Steiner Avenue in West End, I was like, you took me from one hood to another hood, but eventually my father worked hard, got his bag up, and we were able to move to Harrytown, which was a way better environment. But all my homeboys were on the west side, West End and Fairfield. I stayed going to my homeboy Jonathan's house, who lived in Fairfield, right around the corner from Willie Mays Park, the old rec center, Western Hills Mall, and the projects. I eventually fell in love with the people and culture. I had 3 little sisters, born and raised there, and even though I got in trouble and sent back to Baltimore in 9th grade, I will never take away the fact my father probably saved my life by showing me a different lifestyle. Even though I was young, it helped me understand no matter where you are in the world, you have good parts of town and then the trenches. And even though people might talk different, the same things go on. But this story is not about me. I just wanted to explain my ties to the city and how close this hit to home. Let's get into the actual events. Back in May 2023, a 15-year-old young lady named Jani Barker was happy school was about to start back up. She wouldn't be a freshman anymore and was going to the 10th grade at Fairfield High School. The young lady also had something else to look forward to, her sweet 16th birthday that was coming up on June 28th. Jani was described as always being happy. With a big smile on her face, she loved to dance and cook for her family, giving her the nickname Cupcake because of her sweet personality. The teen had her whole life ahead of her, so the situation that happened next made no sense and shook up the whole community. On Saturday, May 27th, 2023, local police got a call of shots fired in a 5,000 block of Parkway in Fairfield. They responded to an alleyway to find a young lady suffering from gunshot wounds before she was rushed to UAB Children's Hospital, where she unfortunately would pass away from her injuries. She was sadly identified as 15-year-old Jani Cupcake Barker. Back on the scene was hurt family and friends who were in shock and disbelief on who would want to hurt the teen. Her peoples wanted to be known she was loved and wasn't a statistic. Jani wasn't involved in any street activity or nothing that could lead to her being targeted. Back on the scene was another young lady hugging and consoling the family. She was 17-year-old Tatyana Hannah. Tatyana was originally from Pinson, Alabama, and would have been a junior at Pinson Valley High School, but the young lady had veered off track, in which we will discuss later. As the community mourned Cupcake, tips quickly came in who could have been responsible for taking her life. A 15-year-old boy who the young lady was in a relationship with. The young man was quickly located and taken into custody, but since he was underage, his name wasn't released to the public. It was no motive about what transpired for him to shoot the young lady, but Cupcake's slaying would be the beginning of a brand new chain of events. Her 15-year-old boyfriend had two 20-year-old twin brothers, Keontae Fuller and Keandre Fuller. And as we all know, when people are grieving and know your peoples are responsible for their pain, you can be guilty by association. Now let's discuss Tatyana. The young lady was miles away from home and even had been reported missing by her family back in Pinson. As her mother described her as bubbly, but a little bit bullheaded and stubborn. She eventually stopped going to school, started hanging out with the wrong crowd, and found herself politicking in Birmingham. She was said to make friends easy and have no enemies. The young lady had blind loyalty though, meaning if she called you a friend, she was going to ride right or wrong. Tatyana was friends with Cupcake's older sister, and they all hung in the same crowd. So when on May 29th, Memorial Day 2023, the young lady was in a car with some other teens just 2 days after Cupcake was slain, things would get crazy. Being that Fairfield is a small city, they saw Keandre at a gas station. He was one of the twin brothers of the 15-year-old charged in Cupcake's case. When a teen girl in a car decided to shoot at him, a video from the gas station showed the young man ducking for cover before the car flared off. He then chased behind them but wasn't able to catch him. He wasn't hit, but this made the young man furious and he felt tried. Looking for some get back, he instantly went home and got his twin brother, Keontae. They grabbed their guns and headed to Cupcake's block by Overlook Place and Hillside Drive in Fairfield. The twins posted up, lurking. By this time, Tatyana had switched cars along with Cupcake's sister's boyfriend, who was driving the vehicle, and another teen girl, who allegedly fired shots at Keandre earlier that day at the gas station. The teens got a call to return back to the house to run some errands for their peoples. But little did they know, the twins were outside waiting at about 2:50 p.m. with a handgun and AR-15 rifle. As the car pulled up with Tatyana, Cupcake's sister, her girl cousin, the other teen young lady, and the young man driving, they peeped the twins in the cut, standing on the sidewalk, guns in hand, ready to shoot. They quickly tried to make a U-turn, but crashed into a tree before the twins opened fire on the car, then fled. Witnesses quickly called police, who responded to the location to find a male driver hit, but in stable condition. Also, Tatyana hit, but unfortunately, at just 17 years old, she passed away on the scene. Everyone saw what happened, and Cupcake's uncle told police he had came home to see the twins holding guns. He approached them, worried about what was going on, told them he didn't want any trouble, but quickly realized they were on a mission. He didn't know at the time what was going on. As detectives spoke to Cupcake's sister and cousin, they first denied the other teen girl had just 8 minutes earlier shot at Keandre before they switched cars. Multiple shell casings were found in the vehicle. As it seemed, the gas station attempt led to the shooting of Tatyana. The young lady who attempted to hit the twin was taken into custody, charged with attempted hit. Because of her age, her name wasn't released. Everybody in Fairfield knew who was responsible for the Memorial Day shooting, as the community couldn't believe 2 teen girls lost their lives just 2 days apart. And it seemed Tatyana was just caught in a mix, riding with friends, dealing with the pain of losing Cupcake. Eventually, the twins were tracked down and taken into custody, charged with 2 counts of attempted hit and capital murder. There was a lot of mixed emotions, as lawyers tried to claim the shooting was self-defense after the twin was shot at the gas station. But 8 minutes had went by before the second shooting, leaving the charges to stick to both young men. Just 48 hours apart, 3 brothers were charged with hits and 2 young ladies were gone. Rest in peace to Jani and Tatyana. I send my prayers and condolences to both families. The twins and their little brother are still facing charges, as these cases haven't made their way to trial yet, and they are all innocent until proven otherwise. This hit close to home, as I lived in Fairfield, got sisters born and raised in Fairfield. One of them even went to Fairfield High School. It's sad that whenever a young person nowadays feel like it's an issue, and I'm talking about the little boy who took Cupcake's life, they gotta hurt somebody. They didn't say a motive, but I'm sure it was teenage relationship issues. Not knowing the other people you are hurting in the process, and that you can cause a whole nother chain of events because people want to get back for their pain. Now, one person's actions affected 5 others. The 2 young ladies who unfortunately lost their lives, the teen girl charged with the attempt of twin, and his 2 older twin brothers, who are now charged with serious charges for taking a life. This is a sad time we living in, where teenagers feel like there's no other options but to take a life, not knowing the consequences behind it until it's too late. And for every action, it's an equal or opposite reaction. It could go any way. So remember, we got to succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, crazy story. Rest in peace, them 2 young ladies. I definitely send my prayers and condolences to their family. As a father myself to 2 young ladies, I couldn't imagine. One who about to turn 16 in just a week. But yeah, man, I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. It's another episode of Hood Tales. It's your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.